Oh, she's juicy today. Yum! You guys, we have done lots of reading guides out here. We did the ultimate romantasy reading guide. We did the ultimate dark romance reading guide. But why have we never done the ultimate romance reading guide? Actually, hold that thought. Let me make sure we haven't done the ultimate romance reading guide, because that would be like really embarrassing. We have not, thank God, because we were already here for this video. Anyway, as you already might have guessed, today we're gonna talk about every single romance book series that must be on your TBR. If you have not read these yet, these are like my favorite of the favorites, and I think today specifically we're going to be talking only about the series. I could do another video with like all the standalone books, but I feel like it would be too much if we talked about all of them in one. I feel like the series need their own space to shine, if I do say so myself. And I feel like today's video is perfect for today because it's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. And I feel like today is like the most perfect day to talk about good, spicy romance books. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. If you don't have a Valentine this year, I will be your Valentine, okay? Now that we got that settled, let's get into it. I feel like first, we have to start off with a classic. And I am talking about Ana Huang. Her romance is not my top... Thank you. I stand by that too. Her romance books aren't like my top tier books, but they are up there. I think she really does know how to write a good romance book, and I feel like the Twisted series is where you get a little bit of both worlds. You get a really good romance and a really good spice that's not gonna literally send you into an override. A lot of people hate on the series, and I am not the hater. I am also not only not the hater for the series, but I also love Twisted Love. This one gets the most hate out of all of them, and I do understand why, but like if you're going into these books, you have to go in with like an open mind and just like have fun. You don't have to over criticize everything. You don't have to really think about it that much. Like that's how I went into these, and I think that's why I enjoyed them as much as I did, because it's really not that deep until it is. You're gonna start off with Twisted Love, which is Alex and Ava's story. This one is definitely my least favorite out of the series. Then we have Twisted Games, which is a bodyguard slash princess romance, and it is so fucking good. This one is about Reese and Bridget, and this one is my favorite in the series. Abso-fucking-lutely. Next we have Twisted Lies, which is Josh and Jules. This one is not like my least favorite, but it's definitely the third for me. It's right above the first one. It was okay. It's enemies to lovers kind of vibe, so it was still fun. And then we have Twisted Lies. Honestly, if I could put Twisted Games and Twisted Lies on the same level, I would, and I just did. This one is about Christian and Stella, and it is literally everything you ever want from a billionaire spicy romance and more. These two is what makes this series absolutely fucking amazing. Next, Ana Huang once again has another series that's also romance, but this is all billionaire romance. I am talking billionaire with the B. We have King of Wrath, and I'm not gonna lie, all of these I would say take the spice and romance a little bit higher from the Twisted series, because these men have filthy mouth. Then we have King of Pride. Once again, Kai Young was something else. Oh, this one was so good. I'm like remembering the plot and I was like, yeah, this was good. Then we have King of Greed and King of Sloth, which is like her most recent release, and every single one of these was 4 to 4.5 stars for me, which is quite literally amazing. After you're done reading books from Ana Huang, you're like, Yana, I need more of it. Because if you're not saying that, then why aren't you saying that? Then you're gonna be introduced to the world of Lauren Asher. Ana Huang and Lauren Asher, they go hand in hand like this, along with Elsie Silver, but we'll get there later. Lauren Asher, once again, Billionaires. I fucking love me a good billionaire romance. Like, sue me, okay? We have the Dreamland Billionaire series. First, you have The Fine Print. This is like a boss romance, so he is her boss. Next, we have Terms and Conditions, which is Marriage of Convenience. And Final Offer, which is my favorite one in the series. This is Second Chance Romance, and they used to be like in love, and then he broke her heart, and now he's getting back into her life. And I don't even like Second Chance Romance that much, but this book was kind of everything. I'm pretty sure every single one of these was like 5 stars for me. I don't know if it would still be like 5 stars because I read these quite a while ago and my rating system was different, but these are like absolutely fucking amazing. Now, these two right here are also by Laura Nasher. This is her newest series that isn't complete yet. We have Lakefront Billionaire series, Love Redesigned and Love Unwritten. Both of these books are 5 stars for me and I still stand by this rating. I am absolutely in love with this series. This is Enemies to Lovers and then this is Single Dad, and both of these just like hit the mark for me on so many levels, not just with the spice but also with the story. Like, this is like the perfection of romance books for me. Next, I'm gonna introduce you to the world of Elsie Silver. Listen to me right now. If you don't know who Elsie Silver is, or if you have never read any books by her, like, you're missing out so much, because not only does she write good fucking romance with spice and men with the most filthy fucking mouth you've ever seen, but the found family in all of her books and the way like all the characters interact between each other, like their friendship and everything, is just so fucking good. I cannot say enough good things about her. I am pretty sure every single book I've read from her is either 4 stars or like 5, and I feel like 90% of the books that I read from her are 5 stars. So we have one of my all-time favorite series. This is the Chestnut Springs series, and it is all about like cowboys and ranch, and nobody writes a cowboy quite like Elsie Silver. This is not the order you read them in, but you have Flawless, Powerless, Hopeless, Reckless, which is like one of my favorite ones out of the whole series because this is an accidental pregnancy, and I hate accidental pregnancy trope until I read this one. This was, oh my god, this was fucking incredible. Just like thinking about this book and some of the lines in here has me gagged. Quite frankly, let me read you one line in here that's gonna make you lose your fucking shit. Okay, I can't read you that. That's a little... They're all at the dinner table eating as a family, and someone says something to her that he doesn't like, and he goes, "What's your fucking tone when you're talking to the mother of my child?" Yes. Yes. The spice in this book also spiced a little too hard. Okay, and finally we have Heartless. 10 out of fucking 10 for the entire series. Wish I could erase my mind and reread these all over again. Also by Elsie Silver, you have Gold Rush Ranch series. I wouldn't recommend you reading those back to back just because unless you like can't get enough of Elsie Silver, then I guess you could read them back to back. I kind of read Chestnut Springs and then I took like a big break because I was like savoring these books, because once you read like those 2 series, you're kind of done with Elsie Silver for now. Like, she doesn't have anything else. So we have 4 books in this series. Once again, you have Cowboy, Ranch, Small Town, fucking Chef's Kiss, Off the Races, A Photo Finish, The Front Runner, and A False Start. Once again, this is not like the order that you read them in. They are like standalones, but they are interconnected standalones. So like if you are going to read them, I personally would recommend to read them in order. Once again, this series, I ate this shit up and left absolutely 0 crumbs behind. I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 of these books were 5-star reads for me. Everything else was 4. And this is Elsie Silver's new series. We have Wild Love and Wild Eyes. It's incomplete. The 3rd book is actually coming out like sometimes this month or next month. Both of these were 5 stars for me. It's called Rose Hill series because the small town called Rose Hill. And so this one is a billionaire small town romance, and they're also like enemies to lovers too. And this one right here is actually unlike any other romances that I've read before because he is a country singer and she was like obsessed with him when she was growing up. So good. After all of that, let me introduce you to my dear, dear girl, Liz Tomford, and specifically Wind City series. She just dropped the cover for the 5th book and it's gonna be red. Every single book on here, 5 fucking stars, and literally like you start with Mile High, you're like, whoa, 5 stars. You go onto the right move, even better, 5 stars. You're like, how does it even get better? It gets better somehow, okay? Then you go to Caught Up and you're like, the other 2 were good, how does it get better? It still gets better. And then the most recent one is Play Along, which is like somehow my favorite one in the series. You don't think this shit could get better, and somehow every single time she writes, it gets better. And I already know who the book 5 is about, and I've been waiting for this couple since literally like book 1 or 2. So I already know it's might be even better than the rest. I don't know how she fucking does it, but they're once again all like millionaires. They're all into sports. They're not all like hockey. I'm pretty sure this one is hockey. This one is basketball. This one is a single dad and baseball. And this one is also baseball. I almost forgot to mention this series to you, which is like unbelievable. Knockemout series. Once again, these series get so much like hate online and I don't get it. This is once again one of my all-time favorite series. It's a small town romance. Every book is about a different couple by Lucy Score. First we have Things We Never Got Over, which is Grumpy Ex Sunshine. I still remember so much from this book, which I forget plots all the time, but like I remember these books. Things We Hide from the Light. This one, okay, I'm gonna be honest, this one wasn't my favorite, but I still absolutely loved it. And finally we have Things We Left Behind, which was my favorite book of 2023. Like, I loved this book so fucking much. It's enemies to lovers, and I also sobbed at the end, but I didn't sob because of the plot. I just sobbed because the Knockemout series have come to an end, and I don't know, it was just like a bittersweet feeling. Like, they definitely had, every single book has a happy ending, but because the series came to an end, I was like, I couldn't let them go. I wasn't ready. But they're also very spicy, very cute. Speaking of cute and billionaires, once again, we have a Not So Me Cute series by Megan Quinn, and this is all about the Kane brothers. The last book is my favorite one, but every single book in the series got, pretty sure, 5 stars for me. So you have a Not So Me Cute, So Not Meant to Be, and A Long Time Coming. The spice in these, it's spicy. Okay, now that you've read all of like spicy, feel-good romances, the ones that, like, you know, you read them, they kind of all follow pretty much the same plot line, and then you have a beautiful gestures and happy endings, you are now ready to enter the world of heartbreak, misery, and depression, quite literally. Because the next couple of series, like, when you want to feel something, this is the series that you're gonna pull out. When you really want to immerse yourself into these books and never come out, even though even after they end you still think about them 24/7, this is the series you're gonna pull out. Okay, we're gonna start on a milder side, but this is like my god tier romance series. You already knew I was gonna pull this shit out. You have Boys of Tommen. Listen, I hear you. Yana, why are they so thick? What kind of romance do you need to write for these books to be this thick? Well, each couple gets 2 books, so technically their story is this thick. This is not 4 different couples, this is only 2 couples. Until you read these, you will not understand why they need to be so thick. They honestly could be, like, if Chloe decided to write me 5 more books about this couple, I would read it in a fucking heartbeat and I would eat that shit up. First, you have Johnny and Shannon, and that's gonna be Binding 13 and Keeping 13. You have to read these books in order. These are not interconnected standalones, okay? And then you're gonna have Joey and Ophi, Redeeming 6 and Saving 6. Don't make me pick between these 2, but every single book, 5 stars, 6 stars. Okay, that didn't need to happen. That like literally scared the living shit out of me. Johnny and Shannon's story was absolutely amazing. Joey's story was so heartbreaking. I sobbed like I've never sobbed before over these. Meanwhile, this is romance. They're not like spice forward. I honestly don't even remember how much spice they have and if they have that much of like detailed spice, but it doesn't fucking matter because this is like a true romance book where like the story is so captivating that like spice just goes to the back end. You don't need spice in these books. You need to know what the fuck's happening. That's what you need. And then you also have Magnolia Parks series. Now, listen, I've actually reread the first 4 books twice. Like I read them and then I reread them recently just so I can finish the universe because I kind of forgot what was happening. And reading them for the second time was way worse than reading them for the first time, but like also better. Every single book in here is 4 to 5 stars, and the story, think about the most heartbreaking shit. Like I'm talking cheating, love triangles, miscommunication, everything you fucking hate is in these books. But it is written so well to the point where you just can't get enough of it. This series is unlike anything you've ever read before. Even if you hate cheating trope, I don't give a fuck, you need to read these series. The way this author writes and explains to you what exactly was going on in every character's head, you're justified with them. Like this is just like about their life, and you understand every single decision that they made and you understand why they made it, and you are also so immersed in the world that like every time they get hurt, you get hurt, to the point where when I got to the last book, Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, I sobbed through probably 90% of this book. I'm not even fucking kidding. And I also feel like a lot of people always ask me the reading order because I feel like it could be a little bit confusing. You have to read all of these books in order. They're not interconnected standalones. They have to be read in order, okay? You're gonna start with Magnolia Parks. This is gonna be a story about Magnolia Parks and BJ Valentine. Then you're gonna go into Daisy Hates. This is gonna be a story about Daisy and Christian. It's gonna be a story about different characters, but they're all in the same friend group. Okay, so you'll see a little bit snippets of Magnolia and BJ in there, but this is gonna be like a completely different couple, right? So then you're gonna go back to Magnolia Parks. This is Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, where you're gonna continue BJ's and Magnolia's story. Then you're gonna go back to Daisy Hates and Christian, and this is The Great Undoing. And then the last book in the series that's available now, the series is not complete yet, you have Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, which concludes Magnolia's and BJ's story, but Daisy and Christian's story is still incomplete, and this book does end on like a pretty big cliffhanger. Magnolia and BJ's story gets completed in this book. And that is the reading order for those. There's no if or buts. It must be read in that order. And finally, I kind of did say best for last, if I do say so myself. We have Addicted / Calloway Sister series. This is not the entire series. This is. The journey that you will embark on this series is quite serious, and there is an order to these. So let me explain the series to you. You have Addicted / Calloway series. That is 2 series that are in one. So all of the Addicted books follow one couple, and then the rest of the books follow 2 other couples. All of the books follow 3 different sisters. Okay, following me? Great. So you have Lily, Rose, and Daisy. They're all sisters. You're gonna start with Addicted to You, which is a story about Lily and Lauren. Then you're gonna go into Ricochet, which is once again continuation of the story about Lily and Lauren. Then you're gonna move on to Addicted for Now, and once again you're gonna keep reading about Lily and Lauren. Then after you read these 3, you're gonna take a little break from them. You're gonna go into her sister's books. You have Kiss the Sky, which is Rose and Connor's story, and then you're gonna read Hot House Flower, which is Daisy and Ryke's story. Then you're gonna go back to Lily and Lauren, and you're gonna read Thrive, which is gonna describe to you these 2 books, but from Lily and Lauren's point of view. Then you're gonna complete the story of Lily and Lauren in Addicted After All. This is the last book for their story to be completed, right? Then you're gonna read Fuel the Fire, which is gonna complete Rose's and Connor's story. And then you're gonna go into A Long Way Down, which is gonna complete Reich and Daisy's story, which, as you could see, I have not completed that story yet, and I'll tell you in a second why. And then you have Some Kind of Perfect, which is an epilogue novel where you get a point of view of every single character in the previous books. So you'll get 6 different POVs, and this entire book follows their life throughout 10 years. Now let's talk about it. Why have I not finished this series? And it's because I feel like I'm literally gonna need to be checked into a mental institution if I finish the series. I have such deep connections with these characters that, like, I can't read about the end of the story for Reich and Daisy because I love them so much. I don't know how to proceed after I'm gonna be done with this book, okay? Even if I'm done with these, Some Kind of Perfect, like, epilogues are fun and all, but when it's this fucking thick and you're literally reading about their lives over 10 years, like how they evolve from like where they started, I can't bring myself. Like, I know it's gonna ruin me. It's gonna fucking ruin me. Like, I mean, on the fucking cover it says never say goodbye. Like, listen to the back of this. The emotional conclusion to the beloved Addicted and Calloway sister series, Falling in Love was just the beginning. The epic 10-book series are about the unbreakable strength of the family friendship and love draws to a close in Some Kind of Perfect. Lily and Lo, Daisy and Reich, Rose and Connor, our favorite couples, are back one final time. I, like, legitimately have chills. 10 years of laughter, of heartache, and most importantly, love. I'm like literally gonna cry. Ew. No, you see, this is why I can't finish this series. Like, I can't do it. Maybe one day I will, but like, I read the back of it and I'm already crying. Can you imagine what's gonna happen when, like, I'm actually gonna read it? No, I can't do it. Ew. Please make it stop. I can't even think about it. I can't even think about these series. Like, we're so done talking about this series now. I have to go. Oh my god. I haven't let myself think about these series and say the names of these couples in so long. And now that I explained it to you, I can't be bothered. I might never read these. Fuck my life. Anyway, on that fucking note, I think I have to go. Like, I showed you everything you needed to see, and we need to be done with this because just like thinking about some of these series is actually sickening to me. And the fact that I will never be able to, you understand, like, what's making me sad is not only the fact that this series is like all of these series are over and like these characters are just gone, but also the fact that I will never be able to like experience it for the first time. I'm not talking about it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Don't forget to follow me on my book talk for more I don't even know how to do my outro. Please take 2. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. As always, don't forget to follow me on my book talk for more book content, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more day-to-day life content. Happy Valentine's Day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Fuck my life. I'm not emotionally stable for this shit. Like, I'm not emotionally stable to... I shouldn't be allowed to read books because I'm not okay. I honestly need to go like touch grass or something.